Hi everyone and welcome to Eastora's channel.
I'm Suzy.
I'm Neil.
If you are thinking about expanding your business into China, one of the first and most important decisions you will need to make is choosing the right city to land in.
And that's not just a question of where looks good on a map. The city you choose can shape your entire strategy from partnerships and operations to hiring and growth.
So in today's video, we are breaking it all down, city by city. We'll walk through the pros and cons of each location and highlight the special policies and ecosystems that could make or break your success in China.
It's a timely conversation too. Over the past couple of weeks, the world has been buzzing about Trump's latest tariff policies. Countries are scrambling, trade is getting shaken up, and let's be honest, confidence right now in the US market is looking a little shaky.
But here is the twist. Sometimes chaos creates opportunity.
Exactly. The US might have been played the global ring leader for decades, but today the web is shifting. More economists want equal footing. Fewer are waiting for Washington's approval.
And then there is China. Despite what some headlines might suggest, it's not closing its doors, it's recalibrating.
With economists ties across more than 160 countries and a growing list of tight cooperation agreements. China remains one of the most open, structured, and opportunity rich markets for foreign business, especially in the tech sector.
And this is where things get tricky. Opportunity doesn't look the same in every city.
Landing in a wrong place could slow you down, or worse, knock you off track entirely.
That's why we're walking you through a few core regions in this series. Not just to show you what's out there, but to help you think strategically about where your business truly belongs.
So one of the most common questions we get from foreign companies is, isn't it pretty much the same? Picking any tier one city in China sounds logic, right? Big cities, big markets, big names. Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, they are all massive and all influential. So how different could they really be?
Turns out very different.
Exactly. In fact, 95% of foreign companies get this question wrong in their first year, and some learn it the hard way. Here's the thing, these tier 1 cities may all look impressive from the outside, but they are completely different animals on the inside. The same choice that helps one company scale could completely stall another. You see, this city, each city plays a very distinct role in China's business ecosystem. Let me break it down for you. Beijing is all about policy. It's the hub for government, regulation, and national strategy. If your business needs to stay close to ministries or navigate compliance, this is your place. Shanghai is market first. It's China's global business front door. Think brand rollouts, financial services, corporate headquarters. It's where deals get made. And Shenzhen is the speed diamond. It's fast, it's innovative, it's hardware heaven. So if you move fast and build things, you will feel right at home here. Guangzhou is your logistics and trade powerhouse, grounded, efficient, and deeply connected to Southeast Asia. So if your business relies on moving goods or tapping into supply chains, this is where to look.
And don't be fooled by service similarities. The operational realities in these cities can be worlds apart.
Let's bring this to life with a few real world examples. Microsoft. They are based in Beijing because for them, policy alignment and regulatory access are everything. Tesla, they chose Shanghai, not just for the web, but for the free trade zone, the approvals and incentives. And then there's a SaaS startup from Eastern Europe. They originally landed in Beijing, seemed very logical for them, but most of their target clients were actually in the south. So they moved their team to Shenzhen, and that's when growth kicked in. So here's the point. Big doesn't mean better. Tier 1 cities are not interchangeable. What matters is fit between your business and the city's ecosystem.
Because choosing the wrong city, you don't just lose time, you lose your momentum.
So make the call based on strategy, not size. Let's take a closer look at how these cities play out in real world decisions and why some choices might surprise you. Here's a little paradox for you. Foreigners love living in Shanghai, but when it comes to Fortune 500 companies, they often set up their China headquarters in Beijing.
And that's not just a coincidence.
Exactly. Because if Shanghai feels like a city built for business and lifestyle, then Beijing is the city built for strategy and influence. Let's put it this way. If your company is here just to sell, sure, Shanghai works great. But if you are here to shape the market, build long-term partnerships, or influence policy, Beijing becomes the natural choice. Let's look at the facts. Some of the world's most powerful companies, Microsoft, Daimler, Shell, Siemens, Intel, all have either their China headquarters, government affairs teams, or Asia R&D centers based in Beijing. For example, Microsoft China headquarters and Asia R&D center both in Beijing. Apple's government affairs team also in Beijing, Intel manages its China policy interface there. BP and Shell lead their climate and carbon strategy from the capital. And this isn't about foot traffic or customer volume. It's about proximity to power. So if your business touch like data compliance, carbon policy, pharma pricing, or digital currency, then you are dealing directly with China's central ministries. That includes the Ministry of Commerce, Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, and more, all headquartered in Beijing.
Yeah, and being close doesn't just mean faster communication, it means real influence.
Sure, in Beijing, you don't just follow the rules. Sometimes you help shape them. Companies based here get invited to government roundtables, attend national policy forums, partner with think tanks, and even contribute to white papers and draft regulations. You are not watching from the sidelines. You are part of the game. Now, let's talk about talent. If your team needs people skilled in regulatory strategy, government affairs, or strategic communications, Beijing is the place. This is where you find graduates from top institutions like Tsinghua University, Peking University, and Renmin University, who are highly trained in compliance, policy work, and so here's the bottom line. Shanghai may look more international, but Beijing is where you prove you are serious about China.
Yes, it's not always the flashiest choice, but it's often the smartest one.
Right. In this market, that strategic signal really matters, and that's why so many global headquarters choose Beijing. Let me walk you through a real case. When Amazon Web Services entered China, their first stop wasn't Shanghai or Shenzhen, it was Beijing. Why? Because in China, cloud services are considered highly sensitive. They involve national level data, cybersecurity, and tight regulatory oversight. From day one, compliance wasn't optional for them, it was mission critical.
Yeah, if you are in cloud or data infrastructure, Beijing is not just smart, it's necessary.
Exactly. Setting up in Beijing gave AWS two key advantages. First one, direct access to regulators, like the Cyberspace Administration of China and the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, the people who set the rules. And the second one is more important, the ability to legally operate through a local partner, and in this case, Signet, a state-backed, publicly listed company that could run its infrastructure within China's compliance framework. And now, here's where it gets really strategic. AWS' next major move wasn't another mega city like Shanghai, it was Incheon, a smaller city in Ningxia province. That might sound surprising, but actually it was a very brilliant infrastructure decision. Why is Incheon? It has low cost electricity thanks to abundant local energy sources, a cooler climate which reduces cooling costs for massive data centers, and last, strong provincial support because Ningxia it had plans to become a Western China cloud hub. It checked all the boxes for hyperscale infrastructure at a fraction of the cost.
Yeah, sometimes smart strategy means thinking way beyond tier 1 cities.
Exactly. Now, what about Shanghai? The classic landing spot for international firms. Of course, AWS is there too, but not for infrastructure. In Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Guangzhou, its role is more like business enablement. Their teams there focus on enterprise sales, technical support, and other solutions for dedicated industry like cross-border e-commerce, IoT like this. So it's not about data centers, it's more about customers. Let's recap. For AWS, Beijing was all about compliance and survival. Ningxia was about cost effective scaling, and Shanghai and the South. That's about serving clients and growing business. Now, Susie, do you have a real world example of how that plays out in Shanghai?
Okay, you've probably heard of Tesla's iconic Gigafactory in Shanghai. And here, I want to bring in Tesla's story as a textbook example of how foreign companies land successfully in Shanghai. It's one of the clearest cases we've seen of strategic city selection done right. After everything we've discussed about different Chinese cities, you might be wondering, why did Tesla choose Shanghai? Why not Shenzhen? Why not Chengdu? Well, Tesla had plenty of options, but Shanghai just stood out, and here's why. It offered the best combination of government support, supply chain efficiency, and market access to match Tesla's goals. Now let's break it down. First, lowest overall cost. The Shanghai government gave Tesla a truly favorable package. The land priced at just 10% of market value. That's, that's a 860,000 square meters for the Gigafactory and a massive loan of 18.5 billion yuan at an interest rate of just 3.9%, even
Massive.
lower than mortgage rates at that time. Plus, tax breaks, fast track approvals, and financial incentives. Altogether, This made Shanghai significantly more cost effective than Shenzhen or Chengdu.
That deal was unheard of the time, especially for 100% foreign owned project.
Exactly. And the second thing is unmatched supply chain. Shanghai sits at the heart of the Yangtze River Delta, which is the China's auto manufacturing powerhouse. This region offers a fully developed automotive ecosystem with key parts like batteries, motors, and control systems all locally available. Around Tesla's factory, this is what they call the 4-hour friend zone. Cities like Suzhou, Ningbo, Nanjing, and Hefei. This cluster can supply parts for up to 1 million cars per year. That means lower logistic costs, faster coordination, and smoother production. Neither Shenzhen nor Chengdu can match this kind of dense, highly specialized auto parts network. And the third thing is market proximity and insights. Shanghai is one of Tesla's strongest consumer markets in China, especially for new energy vehicles. By placing the factory here, Tesla can, stay closer to end users, react faster to market trends, and better align production with demand. Plus, Shanghai gives access to the entire East China market, densely populated, economically powerful, and EV friendly. So, while cities like Shenzhen and Chengdu have their advantages, they simply don't offer the same level of market reach, consumer data, and strategic location as Shanghai. So now you were seeing how AWS bet on Beijing and how Tesla nailed it in Shanghai. But here's the thing. China's opportunities don't just stop at these mega cities. In next episode, we'll take you beyond the obvious into the satellite cities around Beijing and Shanghai, and then the southern giants like Shenzhen and Chengdu. These are places where you can stretch your own, build smarter, and maybe even grow faster. So stick around. The second half of this journey might just surprise you.
And if today's insights got you thinking, that's exactly what we are here for. We will keep unpacking the real logic behind the expansion in China, one smart decision at a time. So make sure to like, follow, and share this video if you found it helpful. And we'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.